You are about to listen to an exclusive interview on Maximum Threshold Radio. Thanks for listening to us at MaximumThreshold.net. Horns up, fists in the air.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good. We are recording now, so you can say hi to all of our audience too.
Hey audience, how you all doing? And don't all speak at once. I want to speak to you each and every one individually for hours at a time and hang out and come stay at my house. I love you all so much.
Oh wow, that's good. I'll take a pizza.
I was thinking about going to the Chinese buffet.
Yeah, we got Dominic and David with Maximum Threshold speaking with the one, the only, the infamous, and the famous Al Jourgensen of Ministry.
That's right.
Guys, you make me sound like, I actually do something for a living.
Well, you're a legend. You're a damn living legend.
Yes, you are, and I love the book. I want to be honest. I'm going to let it out there right now. He has a book out that's available called The Lost Gospels According to Al Jourgensen and Ministry. This is a great book. I love this book. I mean, quick reading, two great stories. Me and you have had a lot in common, too, after reading this book, too, Al.
Why, did you put carrots up your ass and chase Kirk Hammond around, too, or what?
No, earlier stuff.
He stuck the carrots up his ass and chased around Selena Gomez.
Oh, I would do that, actually. No, your grandma dying from cancer at an early age. I was close to mine, and mine did. She was the only one that understood me, I felt. And
yeah, that sucks, man. That just sucks watching it. The worst part is, if she would have gotten a car wreck or something, I would have gotten over it earlier, but watching her deteriorate made it, really horrific. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I was there. I did watch the same thing. And another thing, my mom also was husband shopping because my dad left when I was a kid, too. So I remember having many very uncles coming by that wanted to be the husband. So I caught that one too.
Then, hey man, sounds like we're hermanos.
You ain't kidding. So we're gonna get into a few questions. So, and Dominic's gonna throw in questions too. But why did you come with the idea of the book? What was your purpose for it?
No, I didn't have a purpose for it. I didn't want a big book. My wife made me do it because she just got sick and tired of me getting drunk, going to social events or parties and telling the same damn stories over and over. And she goes, why don't you just get them on a book and shut the hell up? And when we go out to a party, sit in the corner, drink your vodka, and just be quiet. and we'll just go to the party and hand out the book to start with, and then just shut up. She was tired of hearing about it, so I was kind of forced to do it.
Well, you know what? When you're married, especially with a woman that you have, sounds like you have to listen to her.
Oh no, I waved the white flag 11 years ago, man. I am still waving it today. But we know who's boss in this house.
Hey, I did Dominic will have some questions, but I have a few that I want to get over first. With the book, it's as the fans getting to know you on a personal level, on just a musical level, or just meeting you for a split second, it's almost like they get to know you. Is that freak you out at all a little bit, or are you okay with all that?
It freaks me out. Yeah, I mean, it's to me, the emperor has no clothes anymore. Now that this book has come out, it's every ugly wart and mole and everything I have is exposed for all to see. And that's kind of a weird process. It's not something that you seek out after unless you're some kind of douchebag that wants the attention or needs the attention or whatever. Look at me, I'm Brett Michaels, I fix RVs, or look at me, I did heroin, I'm in Motley Crue, or look at me, et cetera, et cetera. I really didn't actually want to do this, but and it wasn't a very pleasurable experience. It wasn't cathartic or therapeutic or anything. It was just more oh God, man, really this happened? In the whole scheme of things, dude, it's just to me, this book is just it's just a snapshot, a time-lapse snapshot of 54 years of some dude on some little blue planet and a little solar system and a middle-sized galaxy and a vast universe. In other words, this book is completely insignificant.
Well, I liked it.
No, that's good. I'm glad there was some, like, entertainment value or something, but it wasn't written as a cautionary tale or a tale of redemption or triumph or failure or anything. It was just, like I said, it was just a snapshot of just this dude that got stuck on this planet for 54 years. That's all it is.
Well, I liked your honesty. I mean, who else would talk about shitting inside an European helmet with a spike on it, so he didn't want to ruin the carpet? That was pretty good.
Well, you do what you got to do, man.
That's right.
I mean, that was because my buddy asked me. We have another co-host on the show, Michael, and he couldn't be here. And he goes, "Well, was Al honest in the book, or was he trying to gloss over his negative side?"
No. Here's the deal about writing a book, which I never knew about because I never wanted to do in the first place. But here's how this book went down. I call this guy that's interviewed me about 18 times over the years on MTV, John Wiederhorn. We fly him to El Paso. I make him drink shot for shot with me, and he keeps tape recorder on. And I just blither out all these stories for about a week. And then he goes home, and then he calls all the sources and witnesses and people that were there and this and that and does his due diligence and, does all this stuff and goes, wow, you're actually not like, full of shit or crap, sorry. At any rate, then we fly back, and then we do another week of the same process. And then he goes back and calls people for the next 4 weeks and this and that and makes sure that I'm not making stuff up. And then finally it gets to the point where he calls me and my wife makes sure I'm completely sober, and I do a phone with him, like 3 of them, and get exact dates and times and years and this and that. And so there's actually some sobriety in the book. And then he turns it over to the publishers, which then turn it over to the lawyers, which then do another 4 to 6 weeks of due diligence, calling witnesses, this and that. I mean, it's like the damn Casey Anthony trial or Trayvon Martin trial or something, just trying to tell a few drunken stories, and next thing you know, it's like, I got legal teams and this and that going on. It's crazy.
At any point, did you write a little diary or anything like that on the road?
Hell no. I was way too wasted to have a pen in my hand. And if I did, it would be used as an instrument of terror, not as an instrument of, prose. I promise you.
Hey, I had a...
on the road, they try and keep sharp things away from me, trust me.
Now, are you still, not really into playing live shows and creating stuff in the studio more? Is what you like to do?
Well, I like the studio way better than live. I mean, live is just like an overpaid babysitter. I just sit there and watch a bunch of dumbass skinheads run into each other and beat the crap out of each other and stab each other and this and that. And then it's like somebody puts a quarter on my tongue, twists my ear, and I have to spit out the hits. And if I don't play the hits that they liked or whatever, then you get bitched out on the interwebs for a while and this and that. I mean, the whole process is disgusting to me, which is why I'm completely trashed every time I'm on the road, as opposed to at home, where when you're in the studio and you're creating things as opposed to recreating things, it's a much different story. I enjoy that just so much more than I don't need the adulation or to hear the thunderous applause or to get bottles or darts thrown at me or pennies and spit at and yelled at and this. I don't need that. It's not worth it, But unfortunately, society is based on money, and when we toured, we made money, and so I did it. I didn't like it, but I did it, and as you read that in the book, and when you're sitting in and you own your own studio and it's in your own backyard and this and that, and you go out there and work with people that you know and that you like and that you respect and this and that, it's just so much different of a vibe than being on a tour bus with like 8 to 10 stinky drunken rockers, getting pelted with beer bottles the next day or that night. It's just different. One is way better than the other. Now I know a lot of people that would disagree with me. Like for instance, my best, which recently passed, Mike Scascia, my little brother. He loved live playing. He lived for it, man. Tony Campos, which plays bass for us, he lives for that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to me, I would much rather be in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is one benefit I found that you met your wife through a live show, so that's good.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting story. But, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll give you that one. That's it.
Well, because if she would have just came to your house, it would have been... Well, back then, they didn't have stalking. Now it would have been stalking, so... She saw you live, so...
To be honest, the reason... I swear to you, this is true, man. She's the only person that, like, after a gig, backstage, would not have sex with me. Like, there was absolutely no way that was going to happen. And just a lesson for groupies out there that are listening to the show, make them want it. Make them work for it. Because, that one stuck. Because I was like, wow. Like, she took me back to her loft. Instead of having sex after a show, she read me her poetry for like 2 hours and played me like this Japanese kabuki music or some kind of crap.
Wow.
And I was like, this girl's insane. I have to get to know her instead of just like, doing the usual business, with like a rock tour,
Well, that's pretty cool. So, now, from what I understand, your drug of choice lately is just basically been alcohol. Is that correct?
Well, I barely even drink that anymore, man. I drink, like, light beer, stuff like that, except when Leaderhorn comes by and I have to do a bump, not switch to vodka. But other than that, I've even gotten off the wine because my ulcers can't take the acidity of the wine anymore. So, listen, man, I'm down to, like, light beer and the occasional sparker, and that's about it. I'm not like some big druggie anymore.
Yeah, I'm working on becoming an alcoholic. I can have up to one drink now. All my friends make fun of me, though.
Those are wine coolers, Zimas.
Well, let's not go that far, okay? If you ever see me drinking like a pre-made Mike's Hard Lemonade or a Spritzer cooler or something like that, no. I don't think you're going to see me doing that, okay? But just give me a light beer and tell me to shut up and I'll go in the corner and be quiet.
I think it would be funny to see you at a bar drinking an Appletini, though. That'd be pretty funny.
Appletini. Dude, I don't even want to know what that is. I'm sure it has apple in it, but whatever. I'm sure somebody likes it somewhere. I'm happy for them.
All right, I got a funny question for you. If your book gets turned into a movie, okay, who would you want to play you and who would you not want to play you in the film?
Well, absolutely. It's got to be Johnny Depp, because every time I go out of the house, everyone points at my dreads and tats and stuff and goes, "It's Captain Jack! It's Captain Jack!"
Yeah.
Right? And I used to be in a band with Johnny Depp, in his band called P. I did a couple shows with him, and so of course it would have to be him because he totally ripped off my look because I looked like that when I was in his band, and now all of a sudden Pirates of the Caribbean, like he's just like instead of like 21 Jump Street look, now he's me, and so screw him. I want him to play me. How's that? I think that's turnabout is fair game.
So who would you not want to play you?
Kahuna Reeves, some other dumbass like that, or whatever his name is.
Now that is funny. Yeah. So, Dominic, now you were telling me that Dominic was telling me that you got a new album coming out as well.
Oh, yeah. The question I had about that is does the book have any reflection into your new one that you're putting out?
Well, just the last chapter, because of Mikey's death. Mikey got done with his parts, all of his parts for the record, and then he died 2 days later in Dallas after he left here. So in that sense, yeah, I mean, it touches on it, but no, look, you guys just got to get the record and listen to it. I'm not going to say anything about it except that it's really good, and I know we worked extra hard because Mikey thought that it was the best record we've ever done. Mikey was so happy when he left here, and it was so weird. Like 2 days later, I'm at his funeral in Dallas, you know, but he left here smiling ear to ear, going, "Dude, when people hear this, they're going to freak." Oh, yeah. So I didn't even want to do the record. I wanted to call it quits after the last sucker. That's why it was called The Last Sucker, right? You know, I had health issues, this and that, and Mikey just kept pressing me to do this record. And so we did the record, and so in other words, if you guys like the record, give me all the credit, and if you hate it, blame Mikey. All right?
We'll do that.
All right. Thank you.
That sounds fair. And that's supposed to come out winter, isn't it, or fall?
September 6th.
September 6th.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. And they're starting to get a nice buzz going on about that.
The first single comes out on August 2nd.
Oh, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, that's coming right up, I guess. So, yeah, and then I guess there's some live album of us headlining in Germany at some festival that's coming out like next week. So it's like Hal Jourgensen all the time, 24/7 station. You know. It's
well, you got the buzz is still out there, man. That's a good thing, especially as a musician, because I would think it kind of keeps your spark plugs going. You know, keep your mind fresh and come up with new ideas for your music and stuff. And that's one of the cool things I've noticed about you over the years. I mean, everything that you put out, it doesn't sound like it's rehashed or something taken from a past record. Everything sounds new and fresh, and you just got a nice vibe with every single one that you do, and especially the side projects also.
Well, thank you, but now I'm asking you and your listeners a favor. Leave me the F alone. I'm tired. Give me a break. I've done like 3 albums in a book over the last 6 months, and I've done a total of 40 studio albums, and I'm only 55.
Damn, that's pretty damn good.
I'm tired, dude. I'm tired. Everyone just let me get a break. I haven't had a vacation in like 10 years, man.
It reminds me of that scene from Blazing Saddles when she's playing, "I'm tired of playing this game."
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? That's actually apropos. That is.
So.
Just everyone leave me to death alone.
Hey, I have a question for you. Now, I know that you were originally born in Cuba and you came over. Have you had a chance to go back to Cuba at all in your life?
No, and I'm not interested. I don't know Cuba. I was like a year when they got me out of there. My ancestry is half Dutch and half Spanish. And then my adopted father is Norwegian. So I'm more of a European guy. Cuba doesn't really interest me. All I know is that they have a lot of hurricanes and a bunch of communist guys running around there. You know, I don't know. It's not something that really interests me.
That's cool. Well, I didn't know, because some people, they like to, go back to where grandfather was from, or you know what I mean. So you just never know.
Look, hey, I'm not a Pacific Salmon. I don't go back to where, it's not like something that I have to do genetically or anything,
So. Well, if you do, I know you like staying at home because, everything in the world is there because you got your studio, you got your wife. But is there any place, I know you want to be left alone, but is there any place that you just forever wanted to just go relax and vacation and no worries?
Yeah, I'm taking my first vacation in over 10 years this coming November, and I'm going back to, the favorite place I've ever been to in my life, which was Australia and New Zealand. and I'm going to go back there for like 3-4 weeks and chill out. And there's no telling if I come back or not. I may just stay there. I don't know. I love it down there.
That's cool. My co-host Dominic has been to Australia many times.
I love that place over there.
So
right, you love it, right? You know what it's like? To me, it's like Texas with like gun laws.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just a bunch of hard-drinking people, beautiful girls, and you don't have to fear for getting shot every time you fart in the wrong place or something.
It's right, and those Aborigines make you feel good too.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man.
Well, Dominic goes to that. What is it? What'd you call it? King's Cross? Is that your place?
Yeah, the Cross was the place. Sydney.
So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm a Melbourne guy and a Perth guy.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
Perth.
a real Sydney guy. I'm a Melbourne and Perth guy.
Yeah, Perth is nice. It's real mellow and kick back, but you still get the nice vibe of a big city. That's what I liked about it. I think what the main street was called Murray Street or something like that. It was pretty nice. I loved it.
Street.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I love it there, man. I didn't want to leave there I think it's in a book that when I left. When we toured Australia, we headlined the big day out there, which is their like Lollapalooza kind of thing, and we had to go to Japan the next day and go from midsummer to midwinter in Japan, right?
Yeah.
And I just didn't have a good feeling about it, and so I handcuffed myself to the railings of the Hilton in Perth and to the keys in the bushes and said, I'm not going. Cancel the tour. Unfortunately, my tour manager rummaged around the bushes, found the keys, got me on the plane. We landed in Japan, and guess what happens when we land?
What happened?
7.2 earthquake
Wow.
in Osaka. The building, our hotel was destroyed. The venue was destroyed. We had to sit in that airport for 18 hours in Kobe, Japan. I never want to see that place again. So help me God. No offense to the Japanese people. I'm sure you're all nice and well, but that was horrific, man. And I knew I didn't want to leave Australia. So that's why I said, like, when I go there this November, you may not see me again. I may handcuff myself, and this time I'll put the key where they can't find it.
Did you get a chance to go up north, up to Cairns, by the Barrier Reef?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, man.
We went, the big day out goes all over the place. My favorite place of the whole thing, though, actually was about 40 miles outside of Sydney in a place called... it isn't Walla Walla, but it's Walla something.
Woolloomooloo?
I forget. It starts with Walla, and I saw these Aboriginal cave paintings of from like 8,000 years ago of UFOs landing in the harbor.
Oh wow!
Are you called up?
On these actual paintings, like they can't explain it. It goes into that can't explain file that you see on that Ancient Alien show with that crazy Greek guy with the crazy hair. And,
so you as you call them the Greys. I see that.
Well, yeah, I've had my dealings with them. They're okay, man. I've never been anally probed by a Grey, so as long as they don't start that kind of crap with me, I'm fine with them. They're fine with me,
Perfect. Hey, I'll be going to Melbourne sometime in the spring, so I'll miss you when you're there, but do you have a recommendation for me while I'm there, a place to go to, hang out?
You know what? That was so long ago. I don't know, what places are still running, but there was a place back then called the Hellfire Club that was just awesome. They actually let me sleep there. I didn't even have to go back to the hotel. I was so drunk, they just said, just leave on the couch. And we had like 2 days off, and I just stayed at the Hellfire Club for a couple days. But I don't know if it's still around. You're going to have to check it out.
Hey, one of our our listeners tweeted a question because we put out that we're going to be interviewing you today and tweet us the questions. And Jeff writes, he wants to know, are you still working with Tommy Victor?
Well, off and on, yeah. But, he's got his Pong thing, and whenever Mikey was healthy, I would always, use Mikey because I've been using Mike Stasha for, since whatever, since I think Rape and Onion or whatever. But when Mikey had his back surgery, I used Tommy, and Tommy was awesome. And I would love to work with Tommy again. You know, it's up to him. You know, but it won't be in a ministry setting. You know, it would be in a prom setting. And I'd love to produce some of his stuff or something like that. But yeah, no, Tommy's great, man. Tommy was like the perfect fill-in for Mikey. You know, during the period when Mikey was sick. So.
Well,
I got another one. You got another guy that works with you all the time, Sin. And Sin is such a great guy, man, and just every time I've talked to him, he brings you up, and he always mentions good stuff about you, and he's a cool guy, man. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, right back at him. I mean, listen, my guitar players that I've had over 30 years. My favorite, of course, is Mike Scotch. And then I've got a tie for second between Sin and Tommy Victor. Yeah. As far as like talent-wise and all that, just unbelievable guitar players. Sin is just an unbelievable person, just the sweetest, nicest guy you could ever meet. And so I've been very blessed, by having the guitar players that I've had, and that have helped shape the ministry sound over the years.
Nice.
And it's a very unique sound because literally every album does not sound like every other album, and that's one thing that you never know what you're going to get, especially when you go through your back catalog, like say someone who's a newer fan goes to your old school stuff. I understand? There's a growth.
That's why we had to start our own label. We used to drive the major labels nuts, man. They, like after Sound 69, they wanted Sound 70, I gave them Filth Pig instead. They weren't really happy about it, you know what I'm saying? It used to drive them crazy, like, I just do what the hell I want to do.
I can imagine some of the, I don't know if there was emails really hipping in back then, but the calls you'd get from some of your label people when you give them something and it wasn't what they were expecting. That'd have been some crazy phone calls.
But let me put it this way. There used to be a ritual when we play like a major city, and there'd be like label reps showing up. They get on the guest list and they'd let us know that they were coming backstage afterwards. And as soon as we got that message, I would immediately take the entire deli tray and put everything up my ass or wipe it around my cock. And put it back on the deli tray and personally serve it to every single person from the label that came backstage after the show. So I really doubt that there's more than maybe 20, 30 people working in the actual record industry that haven't had my fecal matter or my smegma inside their mouth at some point.
Nice. Dave, you can relate with that.
Oh, my God. Do you know any backstage buffets I've eaten? Oh, my God. Now I don't want to eat go backstage anymore. Oh, that's hilarious.
See, there you go. You're probably related now.
You're still.
All right, guys. Hey, Angie's telling me I got another phoner.
What we're doing is
go now.
We're gonna.
I'm talking to Germany, and I'm to Spreaking Sie Deutsche if you want. So
that's perfect. What we're doing is, if you could just do us a quick station ID, we would love it, and then we'll let you go. How's that sound?
All right, sounds great. What do I got to say?
Just say who you are and that you're listening to Maximum Threshold and put anything you want on it afterwards.
Hey, this is Al Jourgensen from Ministry. You're listening to Maximum Threshold, and if you're not, you're a douchebag.
Perfect, Al. Thank you so much.
That was great.
You got it, guys.
See you later, Alan. We appreciate it.
You take care.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Soon I discovered that this rock thing was true. Jerry Lee Lewis was the devil. Jesus was an architect previous to his career as a prophet. All of a sudden, I found myself in love with the world, so there was only one thing that I could do, was ding-a-ding-dang, my dang-along-ling-long. my car. It's a love affair, mainly Jesus and my hot rod. Yeah.
You have just listened to an exclusive interview on Maximum Threshold Radio. Thanks for listening, and please visit us at MaximumThreshold.net.